All right, guys, we are back for game two, 9 lives versus Blitzkrieg. We are just going to tell them that we are ready to roll. We're going to get into this and wondering if there's going to be any sort of changes to the bans coming out of Blitzkrieg here.
Uh, in terms of changing the bans, I'm not sure. I hope they change their own picks. Not to be too incendiary, but that comp obviously had some flaws, did not work for them, maybe the way they had hoped. In terms of bans, I mean, obviously we talked about the Samira. It's one of the first times we've seen it. I believe the first time we've seen it on Wally. And we apparently have an issue with Champ Select here.
I like how the Champ Select music keeps going, even though...
Yeah, this is the most dramatic pregame lobby of all time. But in any case...
We aren't actually
like...
in Champ Select yet, folks. Don't think that we aren't showing it to you.
In any case, looks like people are rejoining the lobby properly. I wonder if we'll get, like, double music.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, too, and how irritating that would be. Doesn't seem like we will. Doesn't seem like we will, though.
Right. Yeah, it looks like it just picked back up where it was. Okay.
Cool.
All right. But yeah, obviously, Blitzkrieg, I think they should change up their own draft.
Oh, wait, this is...
I was talking about the Samira. Yeah, the Samira was, I mean, obviously very good from General Wall. He played it well. But at the same time, it's not like, to me, that was obviously the reason that game went the way. There were many reasons that game went the way it did.
I almost might ban the Nautilus, actually.
Yeah, that would be an interesting idea. We've seen Icy Flip succeed on that a number of times already this split. So yeah, maybe you just take that away. Say, okay, like maybe you guys still beat us, but we're gonna make you prove that you can do it with somebody else.
Because I mean, just the CC machine that is Nautilus can be very hard to overcome, especially in the hands of someone as talented as Icy Flip.
And the durability too. The combination of the CC and there was that one fight in River back when the game was still relatively competitive, when he threw himself into potential danger, just knowing that he would be able to walk away from it.
Burn the Heretic says that if you ban Nautilus, you just chooses Thresh. Well, I mean, that's still a different type of problem to deal with, right? You don't have the you can't get away from this, time to get knocked in the air ultimate. You don't have the super shield or the AoE slow.
True. And I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe his Thresh is just as good as his Nautilus, but at this point, if you're Blitzkrieg, what do you have to lose? You just say, prove it then.
Now see, this is the type of pick I can get behind. Something we got...
First pick Aatrox. Wow.
As far as I know, unproven, J-Dog Aatrox top, yeah. Take that over Kale any day.
I love watching Aatrox. I love playing Aatrox, so I'm excited to see this.
I also think he's had one of the more interesting champion redesigns or remakes.
Yeah, absolutely. He got some buffs recently as well for his late game, so that helps, because Aatrox used to be a champion where you could be 7-0, but then still feel useless by 30-35 minutes.
All right.
And the Yone. Okay.
So we got... All right. It's
oh my
time.
gosh, they're walking in the... Okay. All right, Blitzkrieg. I hope this works, because otherwise...
I think that it's going to be really interesting to see Wally on Aphelios as well. Just busting
absolutely.
out all the exotic ADCs.
That's yet another one where, I don't expect it to be a pick that 9lives goes back to when, their games are actually high stakes. But if he just destroys everyone on this champion right now, it gives everyone else something else to think about in the playoffs.
So we're assuming this is Yasuo Yone in the bot lane, unless apparently 9lives is not assuming this.
Yeah, I would... Maybe it'll be Yone mid, Yasuo bot. I mean, Yasuo bot is still sort of a thing that people do sometimes, and I think it can still be successful with the right support. Take the Okay, so
And stop being mean to Sig, man. What's he ever done to you?
now I was banning the Anivia, so they don't necessarily believe that either. Yeah, they might believe that it's gonna be double bot with the Yone and Yasuo because they still aimed a mid lane ban at Ace.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. I mean, I'm very interested what the last two picks are going to be. Let's see, Nunu and something for Ace maybe, assuming Ace is in mid with Yasuo or Yone. Uh-oh, unbenching the Kench.
That's a great pick into this comp, actually. Just the ability to save the Aphelios from one of these backline divers. That's I believe that will end up frustrating the heck out of Blitzkrieg at least a couple junctions in this game.
I'm loving the theory crafting going on in chat. We've got J-Dog is going to be... Oh, God. Okay, we got J-Dog is going to be Yasuo top. We've got... Sugo was a Yone main. CB Hickey has played Yone support. Just got everyone going everywhere. I feel as though 9 Lives is pandering to me now. I'm getting this feeling that they keep picking tanks. And again, they aren't going to pick Brand.
I like that 9 Lives didn't let themselves get baited into doing something kind of silly like it looks like Blitzkrieg is. They drafted something pretty standard still.
Yeah, as soon as that Lux was picked, I think we all knew where everyone was going. Because you gotta have Ace is gonna be on Lux. I mean that's, you know. Yeah, now we have Mixed Link. Unroll the tadpole, unclog the frog, unload the toad, uninhibit the ribbit, unstick the lick, unimprison the amphibian.
Unstick the lick. I haven't heard that one
Unmute
before.
the newt, unbench the kench, permit the kermit, defrog the pollywog.
Oh, I haven't heard some of these before.
Tom Kench also being recently released in Legends of Runeterra, leading to all sorts of wonderful memes. But alright, so this game, no tanks on Blitzkrieg. Why are you guys doing this to me? Okay, Aatrox can be, I guess.
He's not really a tank, though. He builds 2 damage items for his first 2 items.
Sure, and I don't think he is either, but you know.
Compared to the rest of his team,
right,
though.
Someone's going to post in chat, oh, Aatrox 3,000 health at 20 minutes or something.
If he has 3,000 health at 20 minutes, that'll mean that this game is actually going pretty well for Blitzkrieg. So that's maybe we've got some hope there for this unorthodox team comp.
Meanwhile, we got 2 of the strongest champs in the game in terms of health. Tom never gonna die, get in my belly. And Volibear, hey, yeah, I got a rework. Ask me about it.
Yeah, it's a little unorthodox from 9 Lives, just on an individual level, because I haven't seen General Wally play Aphelios. I'm sure he has, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Rolexus play Jax yet, personally. I'm sure he has.
I think he did in one of the games.
Okay. But it's still just, when you just look at it without knowing who the players are and everything, it looks like a very, very well put together team comp.
Yeah, I mean,
the possibilities of the Oriana combos with both Volibear and Jax being able to jump in, there's a lot of exciting potential here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very solid team comp from 9 Lives. And I mean, obviously, there's a lot of playmaking possibilities on Blitzkrieg's side of it. I think I would have preferred someone different in the jungle, but 2 of the jungle champs that people have said we haven't seen and wanted to see are Lisa and Evelyn. So Sig, as the man has throughout the LCUS, exists to make your wishes come true.
He is indeed. He is granting wishes.
And so here we are with the Evelyn. But I think that Aatrox could be good with J-Dog. I'm excited to see if he's able to get anything done with that. I think that Mordekaiser might have been better for this team. But, you know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, let's... Yeah, you take... The thing this team is going to lose out to most beyond anything else other than, not getting fed is CC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're Mordekaiser, you take Jax off the board, you take Volibear off the board, and suddenly they've got a lot more going for them. I would say.
Yeah, if we're looking at things, if things end up being even, if things end up, being equal fights in the mid game, then the way we'll see them play out probably is that Blitzkrieg will be just trying to run at Nine Lives, and Nine Lives will be trying to kite away. And Nine Lives doesn't really have an insane amount of kiting tools. Obviously, Tom Kench can save one person, but Aphelios no mobility, Orianna no mobility. So if Blitzkrieg can somehow get ahead or at least stay even until they get to their power spikes, maybe we can see some success with this composition, but it's hard for me to imagine the lanes not accruing some advantages on the side of Nine Lives. The loading screen was so fast, I didn't actually see the skins.
Well, unfortunately, there are no skins on Yone or Yasuo. So.
Okay. So Nine Lives wins, probably. Although I didn't really see.
It is nice to see a different skin on Lux, though. Because everyone's always running Elementalist Lux, and why wouldn't you?
What do we got here? Is that a Spell Thief?
Yes.
Spell Thief? Okay. I always appreciate that one. Just reminds me of a WoW character.
And I also think there's a skin on Atriox, which I've never really seen before. Didn't have time to enjoy it, though, because I was too busy having the game load.
I believe that's Victorious Atriox, which is, that was the, reward for being gold or higher back in 2014 or something.
We have a highlighted message here, a redeemed message coming in from LNZ saying that eventually Blitzkrieg will outscale 9 Lives. Sure.
Yeah. If everybody ends up 6 items or something, yeah, Yasuo Yone just become unbelievable with items.
And at
the same time, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do agree with Greatbeard of Odin that Ornn would have been a better pick, especially because you've got a team focused on knockups.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, some more knockups would have been nice. I mean, Aatrox does have knockups. They're just kind of little mini knockups.
Right, and they're not team focused shenanigans.
But the one nice thing about Aatrox compared to, say, somebody like Malphite is that he has 4 knockups in his kit that he can throw out on relatively good frequency. So there's a lot more bullets in the chamber for that kind of situation. Although you're not going to knock up 4 people at once, probably, like you would with the Malphite.
A cute little J-Dog knockup there, yeah. I do think it's also funny that we've got 3 members of Blitz with no mana. So, a lot more possibility of getting their abilities off consistently throughout fights.
Yeah, and I'm actually not too familiar with how the Jax Aatrox matchup goes. I would imagine it's relatively, good for Jax, just because Jax does pretty well against other melee characters in general.
I was gonna say, do you think anyone has an encyclopedic knowledge of how Aatrox and Jax fight?
Well, it's funny because J-Dog, he's going in for the trade here. He lands Q. Oh, he didn't land Q3. He flashed over. He didn't need to flash. He might get first blood anyways.
Pretty sure.
Oh, Counter Strike came back up just in time. Oh my gosh, if he turns this around, Q should be back up again very shortly, but he runs away from Slackosaurus. Oh no! Now he's gonna get locked down. Oh man,
you hate to see it.
Tragic.
That was tragic. That was almost as bad as Season 8 of Game of Thrones. You thought it was going so well, and then the last 2 bits just kind of ruin it for you.
The Q3 would have landed, but he was too ambitious with the flash. He didn't need to flash.
But yeah, there's like one guy in the Bronze American server who knows all about the ins and outs of Aatrox versus Jax because that's all he ever runs into. He joins the LCUS for the chat room for the first time and sees this team and goes, "Oh man, I was against this last week."
Here's exactly what you do. Here's exactly how you play it. Psychosaurus steals away the crab from Sigtau Lord. So early on, a couple quick punches from 9 lives.
I mean, Yasuo, Yone, bot, Lux mid, Evelyn, Aatrox. I mean, every Saturday I see this at least twice. But yeah, so nothing so horrible yet. If I'm J-Dog, I'm feeling good. You know, I mean, obviously I missed the greatest play Aatrox has ever done, but it feels good to have a champion who can go toe to toe against Relexus. It's something you see so irregularly that in a straight up fight, you know, I mean, obviously now he's gonna prove me wrong.
Yeah, he's dead here.
I mean, obviously he needs the initiation. You know, we're not going to say that it's a perfect world. There shouldn't be a perfect world where you can be at equal health in this sort of situation. But you know, it's not as bad as game 1. And I think we should all hold on to that thought in our hearts as this game goes on. Alright, well, here comes...
Gank down in the bot lane from Slackosaurus. I like the flash from Icy Flip there. Getting the slow on a CB Hickey. He will get stunned. He will get rooted. General Wally has the purple gun out. And that's some easy CC into a kill in the bot lane.
Yeah, maybe if Yasuo was more informative about not being a murderer, his brother would have helped him out there. But instead... It's a little lore joke for all you folks back home. Lore and Runeterra comments. That's what I'm good for. So we have...
up in this top lane, it's such a shame that J-Dog didn't get that first kill because now he's already being outscaled. You saw in that second skirmish down there that just... I don't think he has the damage to kill Relexus in between counter-strikes anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us in our hearts, no matter which team you're rooting for, was hoping J-Dog would get that first kill. But yeah, there's a loss of tempo here. So, we'll have to see. Ace, of course, Lux, once she hits 6, can make plays from a mile away. So, maybe we'll get some top lane action and the laser will come out of nowhere.
And Ace doing pretty solid on the CS here. He's got a 13 advantage, and it looks like that wave is pretty even in the mid lane, actually. So it's not even one of those, you know, sort of false leads where somebody's up a ton, but there's 12 minions pushing at the opponent. Decent knockup from J-Dog, and lands the chains as well. Q3. That still hits through the Counter-Strike, but the damage from Alexis is just massive right now. J-Dog, he's going to have to find a way to build enough space to land another Q. He just can't get away. That's the tricky thing about Aatrox is once an opponent gets really close to you, you cannot land those first 2 knockups because the guy's just too close to you.
Yeah, and we're also seeing bot lane is suffering from being too melee. I mean, obviously, fortunately... since 9 Lives went back, they were able to get up in CS a little bit here. But, you know, there's still 300 gold lead. Especially because, you know, you got 2, you know, relatively hard carry characters. They're not going to do well early game. And you can't really get a CS lead when you're up against ranged characters.
Yeah, it's honestly, I'm pretty surprised on their behalf that they're as close as they are in CS. But then again, we've got General Wally clearing up a wave right now, so that lead will grow before they get back.
I'm very interested to see what happens if they hit 6 at a relatively convenient time. They're both very close, so they might both hit 6 at the same time.
J-Dog could be in trouble up here in the top lane. Slack just... Oh no, J-Dog looks like he's going for a trade, and there's the Counter-Strike. Guaranteed the stun. Psychosaurus jumps in. He gets the stun down. I don't think they quite have the damage to get him under the tower, though.
Yeah, good flash. Would love to see more wards there. J-Dog does have 2 wards in his inventory. Obviously, you're being pushed under turret a lot, but, you know, take a minute. Drop a ward in that brush before you get out there in the big, scary world.
Nice shockwave from Trufflesaurus in the mid lane. Didn't have the damage to really net a kill, as now J-Dog, he might have stuck around here too long. Gonna get dove, so much damage, so much CC. They drag Relexus back under the turret, but he will still be able to walk away.
Looks like there was half a second there where Ace and Sig were thinking of heading up there, but when they saw that Slack was basically undamaged, they chose not to. Almost got 6 down here, 4 Blitz. General Wally is 6 already. And if anyone remembers what Moonlight Vigil does, you know, feel free to send us a postcard about it. Oh.
Well, it's essentially a long-range ult that marks everybody, and then your offhand weapon fires at anybody who is hit.
Well, I have a freeze currently, so I'm frozen at 9 minutes.
Okay.
So if you want to get
are you?
I just got back into it. So,
okay. Are you able to fast forward, or should I wait?
I would say pause it. Where are you at?
922.
Okay, I'll tell you when I'm at 922.
Sounds good. Right now I'm just looking at General Wally, kind of in a cool pose, although my graphic settings aren't very high, so it doesn't actually look that cool.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, started.
Alright, we back.
Alright, so, yeah, fortunately we didn't miss anything exciting in those 22 seconds. Looking forward to seeing when this game is really going to start picking up. Most of the action, once again, is in that top lane with poor J-Dog just getting the most bullied top laner of all time. Sig is 6 now, though. So now the fun really starts. I would like to see, with both these bot laners also 6, I would like to see Sig do something crazy and just start popping off.
Yeah, at this point, you kind of feel like, I mean, you've got a pink ward in that tri-brush in the bot lane. I would kind of like to see Blitzkrieg just throw caution to the wind. Just go for something down here with those 3 ultimates.
I think a lot can get done here. They just need to actually have it get done. Interesting hit there by Sugo, but now he's at half health.
Here comes Sigtal Lord, so it looks like they might look for something here. Icy Flip pretty far forward. General, he's going to spot out Sigtal Lord, but he just will throw a chakram at him. And now they jump in, looking for General Wally, and there is the Devour from Tom Kench. It's just so difficult to play against when you're an all-in champion. General Wally, there is the Moonlight Vigil. Can he cut it out? He can. It's a 2 for 0, or excuse me, a 1 for 0. And they do avoid the play that we were talking about Blitzkrieg trying to make. Ace could be in a lot of trouble now. Down he goes.
Ace tried something clever there in the Dragon Pit. Didn't really work out for him. Top lane also a lot of trouble. J-Dog getting beaten on.
Interesting flash there from Relexus actually at the end there. I'm not sure if that was necessary, but secures the kill anyways. And 2 Drakes already at 11 minutes means that we're potentially on pace for a 23-minute soul, which is about as fast as you can see.
Yeah, this is rough, but you know they're not done yet. I think that Blitz still has some opportunity here to, if not get back in the game, at least make a showing of it. I agree with Greatbeard of Odin saying that the top lane is basically lost. Abandoning top may not be the best thing, but I mean just play super safe, right? And we do have Sig coming in here. This could lead to something.
Yeah,
Flash is not available.
Relexus knows he's around now. They do land the charm, but Relexus just has so much damage. Oh, they missed the knockup. They do land that one onto Relexus, but can J-Dog finish it off? I don't know if he has the damage. What a snipe from Ace. Finds the laser onto him. So they get some gold back into somebody's pockets at least.
Like I said, that 1 pixel. The snipe from downtown with the 1 pixel. Relexus is probably kicking himself for not moving half an inch further up on the screen.
Yeah, it wasn't just, you know, Lux is always, you know, such a key skill shot horizontally, but it also just barely caught the edge of it vertically as well.
One more hit. Where are you, Ace?
J-Dog looking for it. Oh, no, he just didn't have the vision. Slack had the vision to get the attack off first.
We do have Sig and Ace here, so I think Slack's going to die now. Slack does not have flash. There is the charm, the root. Here comes the teleport.
Dropped as well, and now Relexus just barely walked the wrong direction initially. So I think Ace should be able to get away from this one now. Couple of plates going down in the bot lane. We're at 13 minutes, so those plates will drop in about 55 seconds now. Ace has got to be careful because they could potentially just dive him. Isn't too much of a wave, though.
So if any of you fun internet people out there want to take something away from these games, I want you guys to think up memes of J-Dog getting bullied up in the top lane. Like of Slack and Relexus just being, allow us to introduce ourselves, cute and cuddly boys. me and the boys going to gank J-Dog top lane. Any of that. I want to see those tomorrow. Because I mean,
Take 9 lives. They want one more plate in the bot lane. Oh, in goes Shugo Tenshi, but again, that Devour just throws off all of the all-in combo. I think they will get him this time, though. Ace shows up. Shugo Tenshi could be in trouble. He snaps back with that Yone ability to do so. Trufflesaurus arrives, but I don't know if he'll get anything for it. So Ace with a couple solid roams here in the last couple of minutes, helping to pick up some kills.
Yeah, definitely. Icy Flip doing a great job using Tom as intended to just eat everyone.
Good juke on that as well. Shockwave from Trufflesaurus, but barely did any damage. And now Icy Flip? No, I don't think they have the damage. No, they won't chase him down.
Also, stopwatch is overpowered. Call your congressman.
Sigtal Lord's got to be a little bit careful here. As in goes Relexus again. J-Dog, oh, he missed the chain, but Relexus not looking to dive quite yet. He might on his next set of cooldowns, or he'll just go now. Good
Nice
flash from J-Dog. Yeah.
Very good flash, and now Relexus taken very low.
Can he clear the wave? He can, and Relexus is probably going to die. Oh my gosh. I think if J-Dog would have just kept walking, Relexus was in a lot of trouble there, but he gave him a target to jump to.
Alright, so we've got 3 to 12, 5k gold lead. Sig in a lot of trouble here, decides to go deep. Big laser, just that laser, man.
Yeah, Ace is landing them this game.
Frickin' laser beams.
Couple of really nice snipes from Ace so far, or just in the last few minutes actually.
Second turret for Relexus, just chewing down this top lane. Gonna have another Herald for Slack as well. Icy Flip misses an opportunity to interrupt Hickey going back there. Alright, so where do we go from here?
Ooh. Well, Ace has a lot of damage. He actually just forced the flash from Trufflesaurus, just with the light binding, even without having his ultimate available. I guess with the Lux's ultimate, you can't be certain that she didn't have it available.
Right. And you know, she will in 1 second also. Oh my god, that damage.
Yeah, just the Lucent Singularity is chunking an insane amount of health out. There's the laser just fishing for another snipe, doesn't find it, but as we said, the cooldown is small enough that it's not a big deal.
Less than a minute. Just throw out those lasers.
Yeah, just look for him.
Oh, he's gonna get this one too!
He got him. Alright, so Ace is, at this point, last game of the split, he is just trying to drag his team in this mid game, where so far nothing else has really gone right, but the Lux is making some plays. Slackosaurus secures the third Drake, and here goes J-Dog with a decent position here. They do take down Relexus. Slackosaurus jumps in, got a nice ult onto a few, and that damage was massive onto CB Hickey. J-Dog now, they're coming through the choke, and that's not where you want to be. Slackosaurus could run him down. General Wally's actually going the other way, though, so Slackosaurus is alone here. I'm not sure if Blitzkrieg knows it. There's the nice last shot from General Wally. And now they will turn because they've chased Slackosaurus too far. The laser won't quite land this time. Root's going to land onto Ace, and I think this might be a shutdown. He has no mana left. Can they catch up to him? He's looking for Slackosaurus. Just can't catch him. General Wally gets it. Slack actually takes it with the smite. And it was a relatively close fight. But 9 lives, they make some small little outplays within that fight to get a huge advantage.
Yeah, positionally was where that fight was decided, really.
Absolutely.
And of course, Ace unfortunately missing that laser, but you can't hit them all. And you know, those positional fights are the ones that you don't really talk about too much at the level we generally play at in the LCUS. But we saw it there. You get all of these hard-hitting melee champions. Sig might get Icy here, does.
Takes out Lord, alright, goes behind, takes out the frog. He benches the Kench for about 30 seconds.
That's Icy's second death today, only.
Ugh, how dare he. J-Dog's looking for something, but I don't think he has the damage to kill Slackosaurus, and everybody else is full health, so that's just... that was never gonna work.
I mean, obviously J-Dog isn't worth that much gold anymore, but it's still not really the smart thing to do. Yeah, and I don't know if... Obviously, Ace, like you said, the odds were good he was going to die in that previous fight. But I don't know if turning around trying to last hit Slack was the best way to end that engagement.
Yeah, I do think he was dead regardless, though.
Relaxus is level 13.
No mana.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, level 13. Wow. Yeah, he's 2 up on anybody else in the game.
Checking out the gold. The gold lead is almost 8k at this point, with 4.5 of it sitting comfortably in Relaxus's pocket. There are definitely some shutdown opportunities, and I don't think Relaxus is invincible by any stretch of the imagination. But, you know, obviously it's going to take a bit to take him down, and no one can solo him.
Yeah, I mean, they did get him at the very start of that last fight by the Dragons, so, you know, it's possible. The problem is, I think Blitzkrieg got a little too hyped after killing him, and then chased into a choke point, which is a very dangerous thing to do against Orianna Aphelios.
Yeah, I think the chasing is the big thing. And, I mean, obviously, there was some hype there. The chat was feeling it, too. But J-Dog has a blast cone out of there. So they know where most of the team is at this point. I believe they know Slack is top. Slack being top is probably the best thing they can hope for, because he is most of their durability. And some CC damage as well. There is the charm here, but they aren't able to get it off. Might even be a 4-man collapse on Relaxus, but here they are going for Baron instead.
Yeah, Slack just started that up by himself. Blitzkrieg will have seen 3 members of 9 Lives just walking that direction, but it's so scary to try to face check this at this point.
Ace might try to laser. He does have it up. The damage is there. Sig also has stolen a number of Barons here, but they are spotted by the ward. I think they're just going to turn on this, honestly. I don't think they're going to... Yeah, here comes a teleport. You got to get out of there now.
9 Lives just wants to fight here. They'll finish it if no one comes, but if anyone gets close, they will finish it.
Laser goes the other way.
To get towards the pit, but just didn't quite have the timing on the smite. The rest of the fight is a foregone conclusion. 3 down, triple kill for General Wally. Just barely doesn't land the Q onto Shugo Tenchi, which would have been a quadra.
Nice little slow there, stopping Relaxus from chasing. I was very surprised by the laser. I mean, obviously you're going for kills. You don't think you're going to be able to steal the Baron, but the Baron was incredibly low. That laser might have actually stolen it.
Yeah, I wonder if that laser was used almost just for vision. Because they had no vision in the pit, I believe, at that point. So you just need to find a way to, you know, be able to give Sigtal Lord an idea of how desperately he needs to run that way.
I mean, all
laser
this...
onto Slackosaurus, but I think he's so tanky that it won't matter.
All of this being said, when the brother bot lane combo goes off, it does go very well. I don't know what Sig is doing there, but they do manage, they wombo and they combo and it goes well. It's just that they're not able to lock down everyone with it. If Sugo somehow gets a 5-man and like an ace laser on top of it, obviously, you know, we're listing the world's best case scenario. But if that happens, you know, they'd probably still lose, but they'd look cool doing it.
Yeah, and there's that Infernal Soul before 22 minutes. That's one of the earliest ones I've ever seen in any game at any level, to be honest. So 9 Lives is going to be packing even more of a punch going forward for the rest of this game.
Which, of course, with Jax at 3 levels higher than anybody else is terrifying.
And Infernal Soul is pretty damn good for this composition in particular. With Jax, Orianna, I mean, it's going to proc a lot more than it would with certain other champions.
Alright, so the question is, what is 9 Lives' plan here? Baron buff is probably going to be gone before too much longer here, so I don't think they'll get any more use out of that. Maybe they'll get this turret.
Yeah, I think Relaxus is going to get this bot lane turret for free down here. And then looks like the rest of the team is setting up to push top as a group, so you'll have a 4-1 between top and bot. They're just trying to shove in this mid lane to keep pressure there, keep vision, and now, yeah, you see the other 4 members all going over to the top side. It's going to be Ace who's going to try to defend against Relaxus. but I don't know if Blitzkrieg really has the ability to stand up to this 4-man stack. Yeah, this turret is already going to go down.
Ace has now decided to come up here, take the 4v5 instead of dealing with the Jax, but it looks like they're giving up the inhibitor also.
Yeah, this could be triple inhib in the next 30 seconds or so, or maybe the next 10 seconds. Sigtal Lord's looking for Rolexus. He gets the charm, but he's going to get stunned up by the Counter-Strike, and no chance there. Root lands on to Icy Flip, but that's probably the least valuable target. The Chakrams are flying at a crazy pace from General Wally. Can't quite run anybody down, but he's forced 2 people back to base. And this should be the first Nexus turret at least, if not both. Jumping down to Shugo Tenchi, he dashes away. J-Dog's looking for him. Another laser from Ace, gets a couple people low, but the Shockwave will finish off CB Hickey. Rolexus is still running wild, and Slackazor splashes over Ace. He doesn't quite have the damage. General Wally whiffs on the Moonlight Vigil, but it feels pretty inconsequential at this point. Rolexus gets a stun. Oh, nice. He gets baited into the fountain steps and goes down. Actually, 2 down now for the side of 9 lives, but I think the Nexus is just under too much fire. It'll be a 2-0. It'll be an 8-game winning streak. 4 weeks without a loss for 9 lives heading into playoffs as they lock up the top seed.
I think a slightly more satisfying game, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though the comp was even weirder than game 1, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was weird, but it was the good weird.
It was a weird that had potential.
Look at Ace's damage, my god.
Yeah, those lasers were flying, but unfortunately, wasn't quite enough.
Probably this is the best ward score Yasuo is ever going to have, so somebody file it away into the record books. Alright, so we have an interview with Rolexus, so we will hop over there and talk to the top laner of 9 lives. Hey Rolexus, congratulations.
What's up?
I just need to turn your volume up a little bit here.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, no problem. All right.
I'm sorry, Pedos.
So, obviously, you guys did incredibly well in that lineup. Saw a, attempt to do a couple more interesting things here. With that Jax against the Aatrox, do you know what to expect going into that? Is that a matchup you know much about?
Yeah, so it's a matchup that you lose pretty hard level 1. And then if you're able to blow the first 2 Qs from Aatrox around level 2, then you can jump on him if you're able to dodge the 3rd one by running behind him. Mm-hmm. So Jax can all-in Aatrox really, really easily after level 1, and then Aatrox starts to win again once he gets Phage, because typically he wins early against Jax. But if you're able to survive level 1 as Jax, and you all-in level 2, and you're able to just kind of stick to him and dodge the 3rd Q, it's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. And you did make it seem very easy. You guys, in both of these games, it seemed as though you had a pet polar bear hanging out with you.
Oh yeah, I did.
Were you guys? Is that something you guys like to do in general, or were you just targeting out J-Dog for this lineup for this particular set of matches?
For like all intents and purposes of not being toxic, I mean, there was focus on J-Dog, but not because of him as a player.
Sure.
But because of the matchups. Mm-hmm. So game 1, he played Kayle, and that's actually a winning matchup for Kayle because both champions, Gangplank and her, want to farm for the most part. But Gangplank alone can't really force her out of lane. So if you throw jungle pressure top lane in that matchup, then the Gangplank can take over with Sheen procs. Mm-hmm. And then game 2, it's Jax versus Aatrox, which is really volatile. So if you can swing that matchup one way or the other, then it's basically over for the other player.
Right, and we did see that when he almost got you at level 1, and then a big polar bear showed up.
For sure. Yeah, no, Slack played really, really well both of these games. I mean, all 10 players did, but like special shout out to Slack. I know there's no MVPs in the LCUS, but he played really darn well in both games.
Jeff, you want to ask something?
Yeah, sure. So, like Keno said, we saw some new things from both teams in this series. In particular, we saw General Wally on Samira for the first time this split. I believe it was Aphelios for the first time for him as well. Yeah. Tonight, it looked like you guys were taking it seriously, of course. But were you also just sort of experimenting, just seeing like, okay, like do these things work for us in a competitive environment going into playoffs?
Yeah. Partial of it, honestly, it was like Wally does play both of the champs. I mean, Wally and I were spamming solo queue together all week, and I mean, he was almost one-tricking Samira like, in solo queue. And we were able to finally get the plat doing that. So, and then Aphelios is something that he used to play a lot before it got really, really nerfed. Back when I was playing support with him mostly. But it wasn't necessarily a let's see if this works. It was more of a, oh yeah, we kind of forgot that like Wally plays these champs. We may as well pick those.
And it puts the rest of the league on notice a little bit. Like
Yeah.
this is something else you got to think about. All right, awesome. Anything else from you, Kenos?
Yeah, we have a question in the chat that some of your teammates have been answering already. Who are you most, if not terrified of, at least looking forward to, or least looking forward to running into in the playoffs?
Probably Phoenix,
Okay.
to be honest, because I think the way they play the game and the way that we play the game is kind of similar, in that both teams just kind of want to vibe and scale. And I think that they have more early pressure than we do. And if they're able to get to their scaling before us, they can take a game off of us. But I think when it comes to pure like late game macro, I still think that Nine Lives is the best team in the league. But definitely Phoenix is probably the scariest.
Well, it seemed to be what some of your teammates were saying too, so at least you guys are on the same page there.
So does that mean that you'll be a White Wolf fan for the rest of the night?
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
All right, and anything else you want to shout out before you head off?
No, I'm looking forward to playoffs, and yeah, I mean, I think fourth seed is definitely like anyone's thing, and I'm not sure actually if the points can change second and third seed at this point. Can they?
They should, yeah. They could,
Yeah,
possibly, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, seeding is like for anyone. Like, I'm just looking forward to see how it ends up.
All right, cool. Well, we are looking forward to seeing you tear up the top lane in the playoffs.
I will say one more thing, and this is directly to you, Kenos. You have
I knew this was coming.
You have flamed the game point for 3 to 4 weeks now. Did you finally get what you were looking for?
No.
I'm never gonna please you, man.
I will say this: your barrels were very impressive.
Thank you. I actually messed up a bunch of barrels that game. It felt kind of
Yeah, I was noticing that also, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, no, it's good. I messed up. They weren't combined, or I shot early. But yeah. Anyway, okay.
But yeah, you know,
I need to get that out of my system.
Sure, of course, and you know, we'll see. I'm sure you'll get opportunity to play in the playoffs as well.
Maybe we'll see.
We'll see
Hopefully.
what happens. Good luck, and maybe we'll talk to you again in the finals.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks, man. Congrats.
All right, and so with that, that is the end of the first set of games. Great job by Nine Lives. Good, or I should say, good and interesting comps from Blitzkrieg here. Jeff, you got any closing thoughts on here?
Yeah, I think it might be tempting for some people to kind of just like when you say like great job from Nine Lives, it's like, well, those games didn't look very hard. It's like, well, maybe they didn't look hard, but it's tricky when you come up against an unorthodox comp like Blitzkrieg was throwing at you, and it's also kind of tricky to play when you don't really have that much on the line. It can be a weird situation. So it was a good job by them to maintain focus and still go about their business.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming up in the next set of games, we have one of the big playoff deciding moments here. Will White Wolf have a chance to play spoiler against Phoenix? They will need to win 2 games in a row to do that. And I will leave you in Jeff and Nichols' very capable hands for that. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the second set of games.